For those of you who don't know, my mom passed away almost exactly a year ago. And because of coronavirus, I haven't been able to get back to my parents' house to help my dad clean out the house. So now my daughter and I came here to the house in Maryland. We're here cleaning it out. I'm excited to be here, and I got some mail here. I sent myself some mail, some things that I knew that I would need that were important. And as I was going through the mail this morning, I started like getting up to get a marker to make a note to myself or get some scissors, and the phone rang. And as the phone rang, I was like, oh, okay, so let me just stand here and do one drawer. And then I did all the pens, and I started to get a little bit carried away with the actual decluttering. So I actually started, and I was gonna actually go through my whole decluttering plan with everybody here, but I got a little carried away and ahead of myself. So the plan was to start on the top floor and work my way down to the lower floors. And upstairs is really just my mom's clothes and every single closet upstairs, and like some miscellaneous things that me and my siblings have left here over the years, but also things that, my dad just didn't really feel like he wanted to deal with. Now, some of the things, it's not like I have to do the whole entire house. Some of the things have already been done. My brother went through some of the food a few weeks ago. My sister went through some of the things a few weeks ago. So some of the stuff has already been done, but it's like the small little detail stuff that has to get done and gone through. And it's stuff. It's a lot of stuff, and some of it other people want, some of it other people don't want. So it's all about figuring out what's trash, what's treasure, and who wants which. And I think that it's like already I feel like so energized. I was kind of dreading it. I was kind of like, oh, maybe I'll feel like super emotional. And maybe I still will feel super emotional. It's totally possible. I'll be like, oh, I miss my mom so much. But today, as I was going through stuff, I just had to laugh at some of the things that my mom saved. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh, Ema, what am I going to do with all this stuff? So, there are some challenging things. So I want to just go through the plan that I was going to do. The first part of the plan was to do all the closets upstairs. So there's 4 closets upstairs, plus a linen closet, and then to go through the other miscellaneous stuff in the bedrooms. Then I was going to do the front hall closet, and then there's 2 small closets in a back bedroom on the first floor. And then the other stuff, the kitchen and the dining room, I was going to go through with my dad at a later point, because my dad still lives here and he needs some things to, survive on. And we come home and he has company sometimes, so like he still wants to have some things. And so it was about all deciding, what should we have, what should we not have. So the next step was, as I go to work on those rooms with him, he still has to work while I'm here. So like in the evenings that we spend a little time working on things, there's a lot of paperwork to go through, which I would really like his help on. And then after I do the top floor, the middle floor, then I was going to work my way down to the basement. The basement, a lot of it I can do myself, but I know at a certain point my brother's going to be here to help me. My daughter's also here, and she's already been a really, really fantastic help today. She's really like into it and likes decluttering too, I think. Do you like decluttering? Yeah, she's shaking her head, yes. So, we're really like excited to do this. I want to show you a little bit about what I've already done already. If you didn't know, my mom was really, really sick at the end of her life, and she had a lot of drugs. So I sorted through all the cabinets where she kept them. Of course, she kept them in a lot of different places, and different drugs went to different places. And like we kept some that like she would go off of because maybe she didn't have a good reaction to them, but we kept them just in case she ever needed to go back on them, because they're expensive. And so we kept them. So now I have to figure out what exactly to do with all this stuff. Probably just going to recycle it, but there's like a lot of diabetic supplies, and I think that there's probably somebody who could benefit from them. I don't know. So I just want to show a little bit about sort of the system that I've already set up here in the house. So these are the things that I've already found. Let me reverse my screen here and Here we go. Okay, so here I already found some electronics. I know that there's going to be other small electronics and batteries. Those can all be, donated, or recycled together. Here I found a bunch of loose change, so I'm keeping loose change here. Here what I've done is I've put like different people's names on the packages, on bags, and I've given like everybody a bag. And so as I come across stuff for people that I think will want certain things, I put their names on it and put in the stuff that I think they want. And then in this box, I have groupings of things that I don't know that specific people will want. So my mom had like a lot of glasses. I found some Mrs. Oats, and I found some watches that she had. So I found a bunch of easy passes. So right now I'm just sort of in the grouping stage. I'm grouping things together and I'm getting all the like items together. What I've started working on right now is not anything that is substantial. It's a little bit like just sort of the adds and ends. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawers, I think. And that's just what I brought out of 5 drawers of stuff. Not all the drawers are empty at this point. Plus I have a whole box over here of medicine, which I will have to find a way to recycle. But the point is, it's starting. And I feel good about it. I feel really okay with it, and I like knowing that all the stuff that hasn't been used in a long time is going to be used, and that's really, really exciting. I do wish that we had gone through a lot of this stuff when my mom was still alive. I tried to get her to go through it with me, but it didn't work out, and that's okay. That's okay. So I'm doing it now, and we're going to get it done. So stay with me for the rest of the week. My daughter and I, we're going to try to film as much as we can and really get through the stuff. What I hope that you'll take away from these videos is how I organize for myself. Now, this isn't my stuff, so it's a little bit different, but it is the stuff I grew up with. So there is some sentimental value. People think like, oh, you're not a sentimental person, but actually I kind of am. It's just that I keep my sentiment in here rather than keeping it with all my stuff. So I want you to go through this week with me. I would love you to go through this week with me. I'd love you to share feedback with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts about how, you are decluttering too. If you feel compelled to jump on and declutter with me, I would love that. And I would love to hear about your successes. So please let me know if there's anything you have questions about. And while I'm decluttering, I'm happy to chat about it with you. And yeah, so I'm going to sign off for today. But I think that I think that it's going to be a really good week. It's a short week already. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I'm a little confused because I'm already seeing I'm a little confused, right? So it's Wednesday. So we have tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. So Friday's going to be a short day because I have some errands to do with my dad. But we'll definitely get back on after Shabbat. We'll do some things on Sunday. And every day it's going to be just a bunch of stuff. So I feel like by the end of next week, by next Friday, we can really, really make a significant headway in the house and get a lot of things packed up and get a lot of the clutter out of the house. And that's what I'm really excited about, for my dad to live here and really enjoy the space that he lives in, and to really feel like he can use what he has and that he'll love what he has, and that it won't feel too overwhelming that he has too much, or that there's stuff everywhere that, maybe he'll hit some sort of emotional landmine as he finds things, because he does find things. And it is not to avoid the emotional, landmine, but it's to sort of allow him to be able to live in a place where he's at peace with himself. And for me, going through this stuff, well, it's my job. Going through other people's stuff is my job. And so I'm kind of interested to know how it's going to feel for me to go through my mom's stuff. I'm not 100% sure exactly how it's going to feel for me to go through her stuff. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to feel for my daughter to go through her stuff. What do you think so far?
through a lot.
Yeah, we haven't gone through that much. But does it make you feel like happy or sad or?
I mean, both, because, like, happy because she had just a lot of stuff and you couldn't move around much. But sad because this is a lot of stuff that I also, like, lived around most of my summers and holidays, and so.
So you're sad to see it go?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like
but aren't you like happy that it's going to go to someone's house and that they'll love it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so whoever's going to take it is going to love it, and it's going to be like part of email that lives on and the stuff, right? Because every time you use it, it's like, wow, I think of email, right? Because that's what we all called my mom, email. So I feel like, because I already do that. So we have my mom's Shabbat candles, and my daughter lights them every week. And we also have a set of dishes that I really loved as a kid. And we've already used them. And every time I use them, I think of my mom, and it makes me feel like really happy and complete. And I think that part of the thing about using things that are sentimental is that when you use them, it's like it's part of the person who gave it to you, or who you're remembering by it is being honored in a certain way. And so having things that are sentimental that you don't use is a little bit like it's not honoring the memory of that person. So maybe it is, and I don't know, that's just my opinion. But so I'm going through this stuff, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm feeling really, really good about it. And it's work. It's a lot of work. And I think that in a way it's easier for me than when I'm with a client, because I kind of already know what's here. I mean, I have a good idea, although today alone I found a lot of surprises already. I kind of knew how much medicine there was, but not really. Like, when it's all spread out over the house, you don't really realize exactly how much there is of any one thing. And there's a lot of these things. There's a lot. So I think that, it's going to be really, really interesting, and I hope that you follow along. I'm going to show you exactly, you can watch me exactly declutter. I think what's going to be really interesting is you'll be able to see what gets me stuck and what I'm not stuck on. And I think that's going to be also pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to sharing this journey with all of you, and I really hope you enjoy it. So it's 8:15 here on the East Coast, and I just wanted to give a quick update about where I left off for the day. I ended up going through one closet with my dad, and we found like a lot of letters. And I guess it's a little bit ironic that my mom, the letters were mostly letters that my mom had saved about condolences for when my grandmother died, and condolences for when my father's father died, my grandfather, but not her father. And I thought it was so strange that I was going through all these condolence letters to my mom. Or to my dad, and some of them were like really, really touching and sweet. One thing that like sort of really boggled my mind was like, if you're going to take the time to write a condolence note, why not write something a little bit more than just best wishes, Barb, or something like that. Like, why not write a little bit more? That was a little bit weird to me. But some of the letters were really, really touching and really, really well written and beautiful and just really, really thoughtful. I don't know, I really was touched. I saved some of them to show to other people, but for the most part, I just let them go. It was nice to look at them. Mixed in with some of the things were actually some important papers, so I was glad that I went through it. But if I would have thrown them away, we could have probably been okay, but it was good. I think it was good just to take the time. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes or so to actually get through all the letters that were there. There's still like 2 small boxes left. I will do that tomorrow. And it was not hard. It was kind of invigorating. I was glad to see it. I felt like I made a lot of progress. The recycling bin is definitely getting full. The packages that I showed you guys this afternoon of things that I'm putting aside for other people to look at and then they can decide what to do with them. Uh, those are getting a little bit bigger, but overall, I find that it's just really like it's a nice feeling for me, like to just look through this stuff and like give it some closure, close it up. It's not exactly what I thought it would be. I thought some of it would be more difficult, but I'm having a nice time sitting with my dad or with my daughter doing these things, and yeah, it's really, really, it's good. I like it. So I'm excited. Tomorrow I'm gonna work on the upstairs with my daughter, I think, and uh, yeah. Tomorrow night I have to actually light the earthlight candle for my mom. And as I was tidying up today, I found a whole bunch of candles. Not earthlight candles, but just candles. And I'm like, you know what? My mom has had these candles for years. I mean, I never remember a time when she didn't have these candles laying around. I'm like, I felt like tomorrow night is going to be a really, really great night to light all the candles. So tomorrow night I am going to light all the candles that I find around the house. And I told my dad, and he looked at me like I had 16 heads, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. And I'm really excited to do it, and I'm glad to do it. And I think it's a really, really great way to honor her. So I'm excited. So yeah, so if anybody has any questions they want to know about me during this decluttering time I'm dealing with my mom's stuff, let me know. I'm looking forward to chatting with everybody and hearing all of your questions. All right, everybody, I'm signing off for tonight, but I can't wait to give you a report tomorrow morning.